So Tupper, 7 MEG boards, adding on even more. So it's a large organization. So how does our office, the MEG Services office, keep track of the actions and the decisions of all these MEG teams?
Yeah, so during any MEG interview or at the conclusion of the meeting, the regional MEG chair or the regional MEG chair can elect a secretary for the meeting. Will record what are called minutes to record the actual actions of the MEG.
So, what's important to us? What are the characteristics of what we're looking for in minutes?
Yeah, so minutes should include the name of the person chairing the meeting, any person who's a member of the MEG or a special attendee. Sometimes a superintendent might be present, or a local church pastor that's not normally on the MEG. So any members present should be listed in the minutes. The names of anyone who's being interviewed and what the purpose of their interview is. So John Doe being interviewed to be received as a conference ministerial candidate. You also need to include the date and the location where the interview took place. And then at the conclusion, you're going to list any actions that were taken. So for John Doe, the MEG the MEG says that John Doe should be received as a conference ministerial candidate at annual conference.
So that's a very succinct statement. So how much detail are we looking for because minutes are the permanent record of our organization. Like, how much detail do we want in minutes?
Yeah, so we want to be as brief as we possibly can while providing the total information that's needed. So the things that I mentioned just a moment ago are really required for us to have in the minutes, but we want to avoid listing any sort of narrative about what took place. So if there's an interview with a pastor and they're having a particular struggle with another church member, or maybe they're having a struggle in their marriage, we don't want to create a written documentation of that to become a permanent part of the record of Acts 12:24 churches. These are public documents as minutes of the organization, and so they can be subpoenaed in a court. They could be requested by any member of Acts 12:24 churches. So we want to leave out the personal details and really any narrative that could come into the document.
So just the facts.
Just the facts.
All right. So, what means do we use for MEG boards to get minutes into our office as a MEG chair office?
Yeah, so there's 3 options for that. So the regional MEG chairs all have access to a cloud Google Drive where they can upload them directly. They can also email those documents to the MEG office, and right now that's you and I, but if that's somebody else in the future, to whoever the central MEG office is, or at acts1224churches.com under the MEG page, there is actually a link where you can submit your minutes directly online through our website.
So it's almost like a form that they can complete online to enter the information?
Yes, there's a form, and it has every field. It'll say chair, members attending, who's being interviewed, what's the date, what's the location, and what actions were taken. And that form it will provide a succinct minutes directly to our office.
And some of this guidance that we're providing in this training video is also available in our MEG Board in Action Guide. And all of the documents of our organization can be available. Just go to acts1224churches.com, click on the MEG link, and you'll have a way that you can download any of this information, as well as access the online minute submission form.